When you see this, what is the first thing which comes to your mind? Love and affection. You can see human-animal interaction because there is a human and there is an animal interacting. You can see because of an animal, there is smile and happiness on a human's face. And because of the human-animal interaction, even the animals are happy. You can never see that the animal is stressed. In each and every picture, you can see that the animal is happy. So to trace about the human-animal interaction field in India, if we go to see, even in our mythological things, the human-animal interaction has been there. So if you see the Datta, it is being surrounded by a cow and a dog. Or decades ago, if you could see, people used to have farms, people used to have cows, people used to have dogs, sheep. So animals were an integral part of our human society, and humans always were dependent on animals in their day-to-day lives. But nowadays there are nuclear families, people stay in flats, so people don't have that kind of animals with them. But nowadays people term it as pets or domesticated animals. So people have dogs, people have cats. But because of this lifestyle change, there are lifestyle diseases as well, like stress, hyperactivity, say loneliness, depression, anxiety. And to tackle these, we are now looking for different options to help us reduce the stress and make ourselves happy. We at Animal Angels basically are working towards helping people through interaction with animals. We are making the human well-being a much better way. So humans need unconditional love and acceptance, and who better than animals to give us that love and that affection. So a hug from a therapy dog can give them all the unconditional love they need. And at this point, I would like to introduce our therapy dog Pepe over here, so that everyone present over here can be happy. And Pepe. Thank you. So who would like to come and give her a hug? Yes, you can. So this is how interaction with animals is. You feel happy, everyone is smiling in the room. So that's how important animals are. Yes, Pepe. So Pepe, I would like to introduce Pepe. Pepe is a therapy dog. Thank you. So Pepe is a therapy dog. She's 5-year-old golden retriever, and she's been working with Animal Angels for the past 4.5 years. She was trained as a therapy dog, and she's worked in different settings. She started working with children with developmental disabilities. Yes, Pepe. Za. Za. She's saying that's it. That's how Pepe is. To give you a brief about animal assisted therapy and the field which is a part of human animal interaction. So animal assisted therapy started in 1961. In US there was a child psychiatrist called as Boris Levinson who started animal assisted therapy, and while he was working with his cases, he used to take his therapy dog Jingle. He observed that when there is a therapy dog in the room, the children were more open to share about their feelings, and they were more open to speak up in presence of a therapy dog. And that's where animal assisted therapy or pet therapy came into being. And in India, it took us almost 50 years after that. In 2003, Meenal Kaveshwar, who is the founder of Animal Angels Foundation, she was doing her master's in clinical psychology. And during that time, she got a chance to train a dog for a school, and that school was a school for children with special needs. And then she was also learning canine behavior at that time. And she thought that if the dog can be trained for the children and not just as a guard dog for the school, it could be beneficial for these children in a much better way. So then she started researching, and she found out that there is no documented research done in India. And that's where Animal Angels came into existence. We did our first research program at Dharmavir Anand Dige Jidda School in Thane. And for the first 3 years, we did a pilot program. We documented each and every part of it. And from there, Animal Angels came into existence. The findings which we got at that point were so amazing that there were children with hearing and speech impairment, and they couldn't speak for their entire life, like up to 10 to 12 years. But through the motivation the therapy dog gave, the therapy dogs, our first therapy dog's name was Kuti. She passed away last year, but her memories will always be with us. The hearing and speech impaired children tried or uttered their first word as the therapy dog's name, Kuti. So that was the level of motivation these children got while they interacted with the therapy dog. And the funniest thing was, the therapy dog belonged to the principal of the school. So every day the dog used to come with the principal to the school, interact with the children, and go back again with the principal. We got registered as an NGO, and our vision is basically to create awareness about this new field in India and to reach out to as many people as we can and spread the healing benefits of animals on humans. So what we do under Animal Angels, we basically work in the field of animal assisted therapy. So to give you a brief about what animal assisted therapy actually is, animal assisted therapy is different alternative mode of therapy where trained therapy animal, it can be a therapy dog, there can be different animals as well, like rabbits, cats, birds, guinea pigs, but dogs being more interactive, we usually prefer dogs. And in presence of a trained therapy animal, the entire therapy session is conducted. Just a small example for that, say there is a child with physical disability and who is not able to walk, and he has physiotherapy activity like walk this room for 5 times, but there is no motivation for the child to walk or make that extra effort to get that done. He'll happily sit in his wheelchair. But when we ask him to walk the dog, he is extremely motivated to hold the leash. He himself tries to bend down, pick the leash, and walk the dog for not 5 times, but more than 5 times. So that is the level of motivation or the bonding which these therapy animals give, which helps these children to attain something which they rather normal therapies could not do. We also conduct animal assisted activities where we not only work with children with special needs or with a certain population, we conduct different programs. So when we started in 2003, the challenges were like, we used to go and tell people that this is something new, we are working in this field, and through our documented research we used to put to different institutes. So we started doing reading programs for normal children. One thing which we observed, that animals are unconditional. They don't judge humans on how we are or how we look or how we behave. Dog is equally going to be happy when he's interacting with me or when he's interacting with someone else. We started doing reading programs for smaller children, basically who have just started learning or just started reading. What we found out was that the children were more happy to read out to a dog rather than in a classroom setting, because the dog is not going to judge if the child is going to make a mistake. The dog is going to look in the book when we say point. So the dog is trained in that way, and it becomes a fun, interactive way to encourage children to read out. We also did introduction to animals program where we used to take different animals in nurseries, because a lot of times parents don't allow children to interact with the dog or interact with any other animal, but we used to promote human animal interaction and interaction with different animals. Then animal assisted education is another field. So we also work in normal schools with children with learning disabilities, like I mentioned the reading program. So in the education setting, it is basically the entire syllabus. We select children who are basically slow in education, and then we work with them in a similar manner. And research being one of the most important thing, because we are the pioneers in India doing this kind of work, and unless we do a documented research or unless we document each and every fact, we are not going to grow this field in India. So research is one of the most important thing which we conduct. As we are the pioneers, we train professionals from medical and mental health background in the field of animal assisted therapy. People who have done their masters in, say, psychology or physiotherapy, we train them into animal assisted therapy so that they can then extend this kind of work to different settings and they can spread our work. This is one of beautiful case studies. This child is a child with Down syndrome. His name is Malhar, and this is therapy dog Jeannie. Jeannie is a pug, and she is now 6 or 7 years old. He was not able to walk for the initial 3 to 4 years. His mother and his parents were doing different therapies like physiotherapy and different other modes of therapy so that he could at least stand on his own and walk. During the same time, therapy dog Jeannie was being trained, and fortunately the dog was staying in the same building. We came to know about Malhar, and then we started 80 sessions for Malhar. The bond, they two gelled so beautifully, and it was so well that Malhar wanted to do so many things for Jeannie. So then we found out that Malhar was motivated to a certain extent that he could, we used to keep Jeannie on a chair, and then Malhar used to try to stand up on his own just to reach out to Jeannie and pet her. And slowly after 6 months, we found out that Malhar was running down with Jeannie, and he used to take her for walks every day. And now after 3 to 4 years, Malhar has his own dog now. He has got a beagle whose name is Toffee, and now Malhar plays with the dog. Malhar has started walking, he has started going to school. So this is the change and the level of motivation which basically requires, which animals are basically able to provide. These are the areas of implementation where Animal Angels has started. So we started working with children with special needs. We started visiting different schools, different special schools. In the initial years, it was we approaching schools to tell them what animal assisted therapy is and how we conduct therapy. Now the situation has changed after 16 years. Now people come to us saying that we want to start animal assisted therapy at our center. So this is a big attitudinal change which we could see in people. So the challenges when we started were dogs are not hygienic. We cannot have a dog in a school. The dog can bark, the dog can bite. So there were so many different apprehensions each and every institute had when we started. But drafting different roles and responsibilities, drafting the standards of practices. So there were so many challenges when we started animal assisted therapy in India. Though this field was there for 50 years in US, the method of application in US is completely different than the method of application in India. So we started training more dogs, we started training more professionals into this field, and slowly we started implementing AAT in different settings. So we started with children with special needs, then we did the library programs where we encourage children to read out to a dog, and our program was called as Tales of Joy. Then we introduced animal assisted therapy in hospitals for cancer patients. So we worked with Cipla Cancer Center, we worked with Ruby Hall Cancer Center in Pune, where our therapy animals were there to help the patients deal with post-operative stress. Because a lot of times there's a lot of stress when people are going through terminal illness. And animals acted as a medium to help these patients recover that terminal illness. And what we every time tell is that we cannot take the disability away, or we cannot take the illness away, but we can at least help in improving the quality of life through interaction with animals. So we did the program with hospitals. We started working with old age homes, because even at old age homes there is problems like depression, loneliness, anxiety. So therapy dogs were there to fill that gap. We did a couple of programs for post-trauma and stress, where we worked with Mumbai Railway Police after the 7/11 train blast. We worked with the Mumbai Police after the 26/11 blasts. So there were policemen who were coming and hugging the dog and sharing their experiences about how they lost their friend and who was working with them. So dogs helped. Even we see that policemen who are so strong and so unbreakable were coming down and hugging the dog and sharing their experiences when they were with the dog. And now after so many years, this is our recent program. So these therapy dogs are now working at the Mumbai International Airport. So we have also started introducing dogs in corporate settings, and these dogs are working there as therapy dogs, as comfort dogs. And Pepe, Goldie and Sunshine are the 3 dogs who are visiting Mumbai Airport for the last 1 year, and they are helping the passengers reduce their travel stress and travel anxiety. So people who are flying, who have long flights or delayed flights, people usually come and spend time with them at the airport. And to leave you with just a thought, animals for human wellness. So what we can learn from animals? What I've learned from Pepe, or what I've learned from our dogs, is live in present, love unconditionally, be yourself, be loyal, you should trust, we should not hold grudges, play is always good, we have to take time and play, and have an happy attitude. And that's what animals teaches us as humans. Thank you.